SYRES, a French sensory and consumer test company, is now managing their Singapore office while also overseeing their innovation department. So thank you, Romain, to be there with us
Thank you,
today.
Anne.
And I'll let you start.
Thank you, Anne, and hi, everybody. And thanks for caring about my health. It should be okay. I should be able to conduct this. So thank you again. First of all, Anne, I would like to thank you for giving me this opportunity to engage with your audience today. And also to thank you for your very warm welcome at in Cosmetics Bangkok the other week, where you greeted us very nicely as our co-exhibitor. So I'd just like to say we couldn't dream of a best co-host. And if anyone is thinking about joining in cosmetics, the trade show anywhere in the world, or any other trade show that Anne will help, will be going to with SkinOps, I can only strongly suggest you to go with Anne and her team, and you won't regret it. Okay, so now I'm gonna share my screen. So I work for SYRES, which is a French independent sensory and consumer research company established in '98, and we are specialized in consumer tests for cosmetics and personal care products. Our goal with this company is to better understand the expectations and the behaviors of consumers to support our clients with the development of their products. So a few key figures about SYRES. SYRES, it's 25 years of existence and experience, with two main locations, which are France and Singapore. Singapore was created in 2008. And we conduct more than 200 consumer studies every year, mostly home use tests. All this research is actually powered by our proprietary multi-ethnic panel, whether it's in Singapore, where we have 7,000 panelists, a very, very extremely diverse panel with actually all of the ASEAN ethnicities represented here. And at the same time, we also have France with 60,000 panelists on the territory, with trained panels, and also with more than 3,000 panelists in Paris only, available for on-site testing. So through the years, we've also developed worldwide ties with worldwide partners to total up to 2 million panelists available for testing. And finally, we record 300 datasets per panelist, 300 different characteristics per panelist. It can be ranging from the age to the skin type, the skin sensitivity, the lifestyle, the purchasing habits, and so on and so forth. So all of this enables us a very granular level of filtering to achieve the optimal quota. We conduct three main types of studies, the first one being the quantitative studies, with the most sought after being the efficacy tests, which help cosmetic brands substantiate their marketing claims. And because it's a legal requirement actually in France and in Singapore, and it also helps measure the tolerance of a product. And we also conduct interval tests to assess the long-lasting effect and power of a product. And then we have the qualitative studies, which aim concurrently to quantitative, where it's more a statistical analysis. It aims at getting a more in-depth understanding of a panelist's sensorial experience of their use of a product. So there you will find tests or studies such as on-site or also online focus groups, which we've been launching recently, and also one-on-one interviews and sniff tests, and many other actually. So finally come the exploratory studies, and I'm going to be dwelling a bit more on this subject right now. And because those are incredibly interesting, because they mix actually the quantitative and qualitative aspects of things to gain very rich insights. So we actually use this method for our latest mega survey on women's perception of beauty over 55. So to give you a bit of context, in 2023, 30% of women in France are aged 55 or above. And this number will only likely increase with the longer life expectancy. So our panel hosts more than 10,000 women over 55, and they've been testing actually cosmetics with us for many years. They are very loyal panelists, and it was important for us actually to put them in the spotlight. And that's why we decided to carry out a very large survey, a very large study, actually, not a survey only, to better understand their cosmetics habits, their lifestyle, their relationship to beauty, their expectations with regards to cosmetic products also. So in terms of design, we chose to go for a double approach, using a combination of an online survey, so the quantitative aspect, on more than 3,000 women, and a series of 6 thematic workshops with groups of 6 women each. We conducted this double approach in Singapore and also in France to be able to gain very rich insights, of course, but also to compare both countries. So what did we find exactly? Well, after studying their skin characteristics, as you can see on the screen, their beauty routines, the factors that bother them the most, the declared aging factors like exposure to the sun, stress, anxiety, smoking, and also many other things. Well, we realized that women over 55, they remain actually predominantly positive and very serene, and they feel good about themselves, about the aging process. So they definitely want to continue to take care of their skin with cosmetic products. However, we noticed that 70% complain about the lies and the broken promises regarding efficacy on the marks of aging. But they are actually particularly bothered by some aspects like lack of firmness or other. And their dream would be to find those products that can really help them effectively with these aspects. And the very interesting finding in that, and I'm almost done with this study, don't worry, is that they try and combat the signs of aging, not so much, I mean, with cosmetics, of course, but also with new things such as healthier lifestyle, with hydrating more, eating healthy food, not smoking, exercising. And they're convinced also that beauty comes from within, because it seems very unlikely that they'll be able to erase the marks of aging other than with injections or other things. So therefore, they're very interested in nutri-cosmetics, which seem to be a very efficient and less expensive compromise. So we also noticed that the well-aging trend, which is slowly replacing the actually anti-aging trend, it's much less known in France than it is in Asia, but it's perfectly aligned with what women are looking for. It's just that in France, they don't really put a name on it yet. So if you're interested in this kind of report, which produce really rich insight, and I only showed you the tip of the iceberg, you can go to our website, syres.sg/wellaging, and you'll be able to download the whole report, actually. So considering what they told us on nutri-cosmetics, we launched actually another study, which we will release soon. And if you're interested, you can actually email me at romain@syres.sg, and I'll send you a copy of this survey once it's ready to be out. And finally, to conclude, I wanted to introduce, we have a totally new concept that we hope to be the first and only in the world to have developed and to have come up with. It's actually called the Bara test, which in English translates to the test bar. It's located in Paris, France, and it's a community-driven space where people can actually sign up to our panel directly on site and leave with a product to test on the spot. Like they can leave with a product that suits their needs, and they'll be on a test with us. consumer test. And well, it's interesting, of course, for panelists because they get a free product, but at the same time, it's also very interesting because we get to qualify our panel more, and quality of panel is a very sensitive subject in market research because you always want to have the panel that is the most accurate and trustworthy. So it's also a place for brands and testing labs actually where they can host their own studies. They can bring instruments, measurement machines if needed, and enjoy a panel of, as I was saying, more than 3,000 women that can actually visit the store that are available to test on site. And we actually, for the little story, we have a second one coming in Q1 2024. So now, reminiscing on in cosmetics that was held last week in Bangkok, it's a bit strange because I noticed a bit of a paradox between the offer of ingredients, the type of ingredients offered there, and also the trends that we established or that we found out in the cosmetic market in Singapore. So I don't know, maybe it was just a lack of representation of some brands, but I felt like, and it will be interesting to have Anne's opinion on this, but I didn't feel like the vegan clean skincare trend was so present, although it's actually all the rage in Singapore and in Asia in general, which I guess was brought by the US, from the US, and also from the K-beauty. And also Gen Z wasn't so represented also, although they're also leading the charge in Singapore. And the same goes for Nutri Cosmetics, for which we anticipate a huge demand next year onwards. And finally, we also noticed that there was very little talk of AI. AI is on everybody's mind, everybody's lips, and especially in the market research industry in Singapore, there are think tanks that are created around it, thinking what to do with it, how to best use its capabilities. At SYRES, our 2 cents are that we are very cautiously optimistic about AI and all the technology that derives and the softwares that derive from it. We think it's a huge step ahead, of course, but you still have to deal with reliability, which can still be an issue in our opinion. So yeah, it's all these trends that I think Anne will discuss more, that we noticed at in Cosmetics Bangkok. And yes, I'd like to thank Anne again for her support there, for sharing for co-hosting with us, and it was a great experience, and I can only recommend it. So thank you, Anne, and thank you, everybody.
If you have questions, you can also use the conversation tool, so we can
definitely, and feel free to send me an email as well. My email is here, over here. So I'll gladly answer any questions which you may have.